Hey everyone, welcome back to the Vinance Vault. It's me V, your dedicated ACCA chartered accountant with a flair for making money habits life habits. Ever wondered if paying income tax in Scotland or England leaves more in your pocket? Ever wondered why two people earning the exact same salary, one in London and the other in Edinburgh, can end up paying different amounts of income tax? Two people, same job, same pay, but one takes home less just because they live in Scotland or England, as the case may be. How's that even possible? Today on the Vinance Vault, we're breaking down English versus Scottish income tax with step-by-step real-life examples that cut right across tax bands. Now let's get started. First things first, both systems apply to your earned income like your salary or self-employment profit. But here's the key difference. England, Wales, and Northern Ireland share the same rate, while Scotland sets its own income tax rate and bands. In both systems, you get the same personal allowance of £12,570 tax-free, for most people at least. This is the same whether you're in Birmingham or Glasgow. The rest, totally taxable. But after that, England uses just 3 main bands, while Scotland spread things out into 6 bands with slightly different rates. And trust me, those differences, they really add up. Now in England and Wales, and the rest of the UK except Scotland, the tax bands for the 2025 and 2026 year are 0% on income up to £12,570, 20% on income up to £50,270, and then 40% on income between £50,270 and £125,140. Above that, it's 45%. But in Scotland, it's a whole different flavor. They've got 6 bands instead of 3 and slightly different rates. The starter rate at 19%, the basic rate at 20%, the intermediate rate at 21%, a higher rate at 42%, an advanced rate at 45%, and a top rate at 48%. Are you ready? Let's get things riled up with our relatable examples. To kick things off, let's have Tate, a low-income earner earning £15,000. As usual, £12,570 is tax-free, with the remaining £2,430 taxed at 20%, bringing total tax to £486. In Scotland, however, £12,570 is tax-free as usual, but the remaining £2,430 is taxed at 19%, leaving a total tax of £461.7. Here, we see Tate's tax is slightly less by £2,430 in Scotland. Now, let's meet Kazan, the somewhat low-income earner earning £28,000. The first £12,570 is tax-free, with the remaining £15,430 taxed at 20%, bringing a total tax of £30.86. On the flip side of things, we have the first £12,570 tax-free, while the next £2,827 will be taxed at 19%, then £12,094 will be taxed at 20%, and the remaining £509 will be taxed at 21%, bringing the total tax to £3062.82. We see here still that Kazan's tax is less by 23.18 in Scotland. Another practical example that shows that Scottish tax is tailored to ease the load on low earners. Now, let's meet Moni, the mid-earner earning £35,000. A taxable income will be £22,430, all taxed at 20%, leaving a total tax of £44.86. On the flip side of things, we'll see Moni's income traveling through multiple bands, with the first £2,827 taxed at 19%, then £12,094 at 20%, next £7,509 at 21% to bring a total tax of £4532.82. So Moni pays around £46.82 more in Scotland. Next we have Dot, the above average earner earning £60,000. His taxable income is £47,430, with the first £37,700 taxed at 20% and the remaining £9,730 at 40%, bringing total tax to £11,432. On the flip side, we have the first 2827 tax at 19%, the next 12094 at 20%, and 16171 at 21%, with the remaining 16338 at 42%, leaving a total tax of 13,213.8. Now we see here that that's 1,781.8 more than that in England on the exact same 60k salary. Now let's meet the mirror, the high earner earning 100k. Her taxable income is 87,430 with the first 37,700 at 20% and the remaining 49,730 at 40%, bringing her total tax to 27,432. On the flip side, we have the first 2827 at 19% and the next 12094 at 20%, then 16171 at 21%, then 31338 at 42%, and the remaining 25,000 at 45%, bringing the total tax to 3763. And that's 3,331.8 less in England. For our final example, let's have Chen, the big money earner, earning 140k. As we all remember, there will be no personal allowance as income is above 125, 140. For England, it's pretty easy. The first 37,700 at 20%, the next 78,870 at 40%, and the remaining 14,860 at 45% to bring the total tax to 44,175. For Scotland, we'll be having the first 2827 at 19%, 12094 at 20%, 16171 at 21%, 31338 at 42%, next 5140 at 45%, and the remaining 14860 at 48% to bring our total tax to 49,209.6. Now that's a whooping 5,034.62 less in England again on the exact 140k salary. Now again, Scotland's system has 6 tiers versus that of England's 3 tiers. That may seem fairer, but once you're past the lower band, you enter higher rates far sooner. That's how the cost scales up with your income. At around 30k, Scotland can actually be cheaper. The Scottish starter and basic bands gives you a slight tax edge over England by a few pounds, but the tides take a turn when you key into the higher bands as we see savings in tens of pounds annually, depending on thresholds as the examples have shown. So why the difference? In a nutshell, Scotland's system is designed to be more progressive. Slightly lighter for low earners, slightly heavier for middle earners, and noticeably heavier for high earners. In England, the bands are simpler, but that simplicity means fewer small steps and bigger jumps. So what's the takeaway? Your payslip doesn't just depend on your job, it depends on your postcode. Move from Manchester to Edinburgh and your take home could shift by thousands. The bottom line, where you live in the UK matters. The same salary could mean different take-home pay depending on whether you're in Leeds or Dundee. And if you're planning a move between Scotland and England, remember, it's not just the bagpipes and Big Ben that change. Your tax bill does too. Now here's a powerful reminder. Tax isn't the full story. Public benefits and cost of living matters too. So, what do you think? Is Scotland's more detailed system fairer, or do you prefer England's simpler approach? Drop your thoughts in the comments and don't forget to hit the subscribe for more clear and simple breakdowns. And remember guys, we're unlocking the power of finance, one vault at a time.